It's very easy to point to all of the things out there that are disrupting our peace, causing frustration and aggravation. One of the things for me is technology. As I've been improving my relationship with technology, I realized that I need to be patient with it and respect it. If I'm bringing a bunch of frustrated energy to it, I'm going to get more back. That is an act of aggression. Mahatma Gandhi, who freed India through nonviolence, through peaceful revolt, said, change starts within. You first have to start here inside yourself rather than trying to change the world around you, because it's like moving the chairs on the Titanic. And so what does that look like? That means awareness, presence, being able to observe our own reactions and go, oh, look, I'm activated right now. The sooner we can notice it, the sooner we can simmer that down rather than it building up and boiling over into a rage fit or spinning out of control. And that doesn't mean to push it down or repress it. It means to feel it. I've talked about how to feel your emotions. If you want to know more, I have a free program, an interconnection challenge. It's a month long and it'll have more stuff in there. Aside from deep processing with a coach or on your own, you can practice presence. That means cultivating the ability to witness your experience, to notice before things spiral out of control. Notice, oh, look, I'm activated right now. My heartbeat is racing. I feel heaviness in my gut. My shoulders are tense. Feel that and be with it. Let it move out. The longer form of how to do that, I talk about in my programs. Feel it, let the energy move through. Don't push it down. Don't let it build up until it rages. Be aware of your experience. When these things are going on within us, that's a form of war. Where am I ticked off because that person didn't reply to my text right away or in the way that I thought they would? Seeing an email go through and making some sort of negative assumption about a person's motives, like, oh, they're always slacking off. They could just do this for themselves. They're just trying to get me to do the work, or they didn't take out the trash. They're so lazy. They don't even care about me. These narratives run through our head, and they're not wrong. We don't want to make them wrong. Our narratives, our feelings, or anything, because they're all there for a reason. And so we can be with those, process them through, and come back to a place of neutrality, or better yet, to a place of joy, love, of peace. Peace or war will emanate out from us and will then impact how the world around us responds to us. For instance, these cars, this UPS truck back here, when it's coming by, a part of me goes like, oh, and it's like, oh, look at that reaction. I don't need to do that. I can have acceptance. I can just pause, take a breath, and take in the beauty around me while I wait for the noisy distractions to move by. Here's an example of how my inner peace was reflected to the world around me. For a portion of my walk today, I was walking on a somewhat busy road. Because the sidewalks were slushy and slippery, I was walking on the road. Incoming cars would come around the bend and see me from a distance. And instead of going, oh, look at this pedestrian on the road, they're not supposed to be there, I'll show them, they just got into the other lane. I assume they understood why I was walking on the road, facing oncoming traffic. And I just waved and they waved back. There was a bit of love, gratitude, and care being spread by both of us. That had a really positive impact on me and my heart, and possibly on them too. How do we see the world? Do we see the world as everyone's out to get me? Or are people willing to do something nice and spread positive vibes? I've seen people walking down a road like that, and instead of nice energy, they're like, I'm taking up space. You guys are going to have to work around me. And you can feel that. And then it creates negative vibes and energy within ourselves. That's the energy of war. Us against them. Anytime you're pointing the finger out there, that's war. And here's the thing, we do it to ourselves. Maybe more, especially the people pleasers, overgivers, nice people, good girls and boys. We do it to ourselves more than we do it to people. That energy I talked about earlier, it's like, well, we do that to ourselves. I can't believe you did that. That was so stupid. Get it together. Why can't I do this faster? How come everyone else is doing this and I can't seem to do it? This comparison game is war. When we're comparing ourselves against some impossible standard, hello, perfectionists, that's war within ourselves. And the people around us, as good as you think you are at hiding it, they sense it. We can feel when there is a disconnect between someone's words and their energy. There's some good actors out there, but for the most part, we can sense when something is off. Often this comes across as anxiety, self-consciousness, perfectionism, not being satisfied, nothing ever being enough. It comes across as rigidness. And this is different from strength. Hardness, rigidness, and strength are not the same. We can be strong and soft at the same time, and the Peaceful Warrior talks about that. I love all these birds. You hear a lot of squawks. I wonder what kind of birds they are. Lots of wooded areas around here. I love it. I made a post recently asking people if they got diagnosed with a life-threatening condition, what adjustments they would make to get better. I got a lot of really great responses, but I was surprised. I thought I would see at the top of the list people prioritizing peace, because our mental health and how peaceful we feel in our body affects our health, our wellness, our vitality. So to me, that would be top of the list. Where is my energy getting drained and pulled in all of these directions? Where am I doing things just to please others? But inside, I'm tied in knots. Am I taking in the news and feeling hopeless and helpless? Or warring, like, look at those people, all those stupid people that don't think like I do. They're the problem. Am I swallowing down my emotions and not letting myself feel the sadness, the grief, the loss that's underneath all of this? When I talk about creating inner peace, it's not a straight line from, oh, I feel this warring inside me. I feel this unease inside of me. Let me spiritually bypass and come into alignment and only feel peace, love, and light. No, it's not that. It's not a straight line. Yes, that's the intention. And we can feel that in this moment right now in presence. But when we notice these other things coming in, we want to look at those things. We want to be with those things, feel those things, process those things, transmute them so that we can have more peace inside of us. And then during times when we find ourselves in judgment, fear, and unease, to not make ourselves wrong for having that experience. Because that's what's arising, what you're picking up from the world even. Your own stuff coming forth. That's at the heart of presence and awareness. Not, oh, being in the now means I just feel good all the time and I have no worries and I don't plan ahead and I don't do anything about my problems. I'm just basking in the bliss of the present moment. No, that's not what it's about. It's about being with whatever arises and doing the inspired action that comes out of awareness. That's the part I struggle the most with. taking the action. When my bedroom is clean and organized and all the clothes are put away, my nervous system responds much differently. When my bedroom's a mess, that impacts my mental health. I'm not even consciously aware of it, but all of a sudden, my body wants me to fall asleep on the couch because it doesn't want to be in that room. And then the minute I get my room in order, all of a sudden, I only want to be in my room. I want to work in my room. I want to do everything in my room. There's intelligence that is way deeper than our conscious minds that knows what it is that we need. From the responses I got on my post, we know what we really need. People came up with lists of things that they would do if they were to suddenly get a diagnosis like that. So then the question becomes, why are we holding back? If we know that those are the things that are going to give us the most vitality, the most wellness, the most wholeness, why are we doing anything other than that? The answer is, it feels good. It feels good to scroll my phone instead of cleaning my room. It feels good to eat a donut every morning rather than making a smoothie. But we also know, anyone that has ever been on a health kick knows how good that feels. It might feel bland and boring, but we know how it feels in our bodies. It ultimately feels way better. Sobriety, the clarity and clearness of mind is way better than any drug. Every addict knows this, yet we see people go back to drugs. Why? It all comes down to inner programming and the substances that numb us out and make us feel good temporarily. So I'm not saying never have donuts. I allow myself donuts and french fries because I know that when I tell myself I can't have something, I rebel. And so it's not about that hardness, that rigidness. It's a softening, it's a fluidity, it's a flow. It's a combination of both. A little flow and a little bit of rigidity. We could call it structure, routine. I really like calling it rhythms, right? Setting up my own rhythm. Emphasis on my own rhythm. There's all these external rhythms out there. Pendulums, right? I can get pulled into group think and group behavior with other people's, other groups' rhythms. When you go to a job and work 9 to 5, you're in the same rhythm as those people, right? If you're doing the same thing every day, is it out of necessity or because it's in tune with your own rhythm? Is it because some guru you want to mimic has told you that that's what they're doing? Or is it because you're tuning in to your own creativity, your own craft, values, needs, desires? If you want to get into your own rhythm, as well as taking on the challenge of improving your vitality and wellness, the things that you know are good for you and have support and accountability of a group, reach out, comment below, and we'll get you taken care of.